Hello, this is Julie Hogue with Vegetarians and Meat Lovers Split Table Recipes. Recipes that work for your family when you have vegetarians and meat lovers in your family or at your table. Or maybe you just want some meatless meals. Other people want meat. It's a way of thinking. It's a mindset. It's not hard. I just share ideas of how to do it and recipes to do it. And something I've done for my entire life, pretty much because I've been a vegetarian since about 8th grade. I had a little bit of fish after that, but not much. And so I have spent my entire life cooking and cooking for people who are meat eaters, but also obviously having to feed myself. So I've created many recipes and have many ideas. Real life training is what I've got. I am not a chef. I am a food blogger. I'm a lifestyle blogger. Lifestyle meaning family lifestyle, things pertaining to families. And I make a lot of recipes. And so in part of what I do, I'm also a food blogger and I also create cookbooks. And so this recipe that I'm going to read today is something that's really unique. It's in my One Dish, Two Diets cookbook. And it's something that I came up with and it's a very unusual recipe and I really love it. And I have Easter on the brain. I don't know if you all do, but Easter's coming and I always think eggs when it's Easter time, right? So these recipes contain eggs. And I know there's some people out there who avoid eggs, but I'm not one of them. I'm a lacto-ovo vegetarian, so I consume eggs. My family loves eggs. We go through a lot of eggs at my house. When I have all 5 of us here, I think I said this on a recent podcast, I use about 20 eggs when I'm making scrambled eggs because my boys eat so many eggs. And they'll always look at me and be like, how many can I take? So then I'm like, oh, maybe I should have made 26 eggs, right? They're always like looking at me like, how many can I have? And I'm like, oh my goodness. So, maybe I need to up that number a little bit, right? Because if they're making that kind of comment, they want some more. And then, of course, I save a little bit for our dogs because eggs are good for dogs. And so when we have scrambled eggs, the dogs get a little pile too. So maybe I do need to up that number from that 20, right? I want to urge you to check out Instacart. If you've ever checked out Instacart before, it might be your time now because it's so great. They deliver groceries to you and quickly, and you can get a deal on your first delivery. If you forgot something or you need something or you just want something, try Instacart. Links down in the podcast notes. So today, this recipe, this first one it's a really long name. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Open-faced avocado, egg spread, and tomato sandwiches with jalapeno, pickle, egg white salad. So this is like a combo meal. And I liked this because originally I was just making the avocado egg spread. And I'm like, well, look at all these egg whites. I got to do something with these egg whites, right? I'm not going to just throw them away. So I decided to make an egg white salad. Like, this just great idea. And so I really love this recipe. It's really tasty. It's really pretty. It's red and green and white. And it just looks very festive. I think it's great for a brunch. It's great for any day, but it takes a little bit of time to make it. So unless you made it ahead of time, you might want it for a brunch. So you have a little bit of time in the morning there to make it, or a lunch, it works too. I love the whole open-faced sandwich idea. It cuts down on the bread because, for me, I'm always trying to cut a little bit of carbs because it helps me keep my weight down. I'm, like everyone else, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. Always trying to lose, a few more pounds. It's a never-ending battle, right? And so when you have one less piece of bread, hey, there's your cut of calories. And it looks really pretty and it's really tasty. It has tomato slices on top. So it looks really nice. So I'm going to get into this recipe. It's a really delicious vegetable and protein packed meal, especially for people who don't eat meat, but people who love eggs, whether they eat meat or not. This is a great recipe. And the other thing you could do to it is actually add bacon and then you'd have a little bit of meat there. So add bacon to your open-faced avocado egg spread sandwiches. And then there you go. You got a little bit of meat added in there and you got a hybrid meal just like that. It's so easy, right? Like I said, it's a mindset. All you have to do is add a little bit of meat for those who want it. It's just a way of thinking, a way of preparation. Anything can be turned into a hybrid meal where you're feeding both. I mean, there's some things you can't do, like you can't make a soup and it'd be harder. I mean, unless a person is okay with it and trying to avoid the chunks. But anything you're like putting a lot of small pieces into it's not really going to work for a hybrid meal unless you're making two completely different dishes, which I've done that too. Okay, so the whole egg is used in this recipe. The egg yolks are used for the spread and the egg whites are used for the salad. And it can be a meal all by itself when you do both of these things. And you have lemon juice in the spread, so it will last for a few days. So you can make it ahead of time. And that's always a good thing, especially when you're coming up on Easter, right? Maybe you want to make it the day before. You actually can. And the salad, of course, can sit too. So this is something you could prepare the day before Easter, and then you would have it all ready because everyone knows it gets crazy on that day, right? So the prep time for the sandwich is about an hour, and of course, making the salad too. And it makes about 6 servings of 2 toast slices each, or 12 servings of 1 toast slice. And the spread makes about 1.5 cups. Okay, here's the ingredients for the sandwiches. Egg yolks from 12 hard-boiled eggs. Then you're going to set those egg whites aside. 1 ripe avocado. Nice to have the ripe one, right? It's easier to work with. And it's just harder to mash a non-ripe one, right? You're going to work a lot harder. And it may not taste as good. 2 tablespoons fresh lemon juice. 1/4 teaspoon black pepper. 1/2 teaspoon salt. 1/3 cup olive oil mayonnaise. 2 tablespoons crushed crispy jalapenos, or less if you don't want that strong jalapeno flavor. 1.5 teaspoons taco seasonings, or less to taste if you don't like that strong as well. 2 to 3 large tomatoes, 12 slices of 12-grain bread. Okay, how do you make these little sandwiches? So you're going to take all 12 egg yolks and put them in a bowl. Your dogs might be begging for it at this point, right? Mine love egg yolks. They're like all over that. They're like, what are you doing up there? So take your bowl with 12 egg yolks in there and add your ripe avocado, your 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 1/3 cup olive oil mayo. Blend them together with a hand blender for about 2 minutes or until smooth. Then you're going to spread 1/8 cup. That's kind of a weird thing, right? There's never any 1/8 cup measuring cups. I don't know why there isn't. There should be. 1/2 of a 4th cup. You could just use a spoon too. You don't have to be that specific, but it depends on your slice of bread too, right? But I'm just going to say what I normally say, which is 1/8 cup spread on each of the slices of toast. Instacart, groceries delivered in as little as 1 hour. Free delivery on your first order, $35. Save yourself that trip to the market. Instacart delivers groceries in as fast as 1 hour. They connect you with personal shoppers in your area to shop and deliver groceries from your favorite stores. Free delivery on your very first order over $35. Following the link in the show notes lets Instacart know we sent you and help support our show. Multiple stores available. Shop all of your favorites on a single order. The products you love from your local stores. Hand-selected by shoppers based on your preferences. Delivery to your door in as fast as 1 hour. Instacart highlights deals to help you save money. Don't we all want that? Find everything you usually buy and get smart suggestions for new items. Instacart picks the freshest produce and keeps your eggs safe too. Woohoo! Those are things I want. Try it out today. You will love it. And then, so obviously you're going to toast those. You can toast them all in the oven. Have you ever done that? Like on a broil? Then you can toast them all at once. You have to stand there doing your duty at the toaster. 1, 2 slices at a time. I do have a 4-slice toaster, but one of the areas has become faulty and the toast falls down in there. Oh no, toast in the depths. And it's hard to get out. So I pretty much avoid that level, that's number 2 in the line of toast slots. But what works great for this, if you're making a whole bunch of them, you're making all 12, you can just put them all on a cookie sheet and broil it. And you know how broiling goes so quick. If you can do low broil, that's better. But make sure you stay right there because you know how quickly it can burn in the oven if you've ever broiled toast in the oven. But then you can do like a mass toasting, right, of all those slices. Mass toast. And then you're going to add 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of the crushed crispy jalapenos and 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon taco seasonings per slice of toast. And then you top with tomato wedges. Slices, however you want to do it. I did wedges for mine usually, and it just looks really nice. It's a nice looking little toast. You could do it on a bagel. I've done that as well. I like the thinner bread, though. I just feel like it works a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to eat. It's not so chunky, and it's less carbs. Hey, like I said, that's what I'm looking for. So that's your sandwich, your open-faced avocado, egg spread, and tomato sandwiches. And so then you got all these egg whites, right? They're sitting in this bowl or just sitting there all by themselves. They're all lonely. What are you going to do with them? You're going to turn them into jalapeno pickle egg white salad. I love this salad. It's an unusual salad. I have never tasted anything in my life like it. I've never seen anything like it, but I made it up and I like it and I love it and I'm sharing it with you. Okay, what do you need? Okay, so now I see my notes. I was wrong. 1 hour for the sandwiches, 30 minutes for the salad. So see, there is a bit of prep time, right? But anytime you're making something homemade, you're going to have to put in the work. That's just the way it goes. And it's worth it because it's always so yummy, right? Okay, so for the salad, so what do you need to make the salad? You need the egg whites from the 12 hard-boiled eggs, 1 pint of small sweet or grape tomatoes, about 2 cups, sliced in half, 1 red pepper chopped, 1 cup sliced baby dill pickles. That's a key ingredient. Got to have those pickles. 2 jalapenos, 2 fresh jalapenos. That's another key ingredient. Seeds removed and chopped into little pieces. 3 tablespoons chopped onion, 1 tablespoon sweetened lime juice. Now, you could use regular lime juice, too, if you don't want to have the sweetened. 1/2 cup Miracle Whip dressing, or any other kind of mayo that you want to use, and 1 teaspoon seasoned salt. So, obviously, you're going to be chopping up those egg whites. You're not going to be all big and chunky like that. When you peeled out the egg yolk, they probably maybe came in half. They look like a scoop. They look like a little bowl or something. So, chop those up into little pieces and add 1 pint of sliced tomato halves. That's your tomato halves that you chopped up or sliced in half, I guess makes more sense. 1 chopped red pepper and 1 cup sliced pickles to the egg whites. Stir it all together to mix. And then you really kind of need a food processor for this next part. I mean, you could probably get away with it, but if you want it to be small pieces and more smooth and not so chunky, you really want to use a food processor. To make this dressing for this salad, you're going to use the 2 chopped jalapenos, 3 tablespoons chopped onion, 1/2 cup Miracle Whip dressing or mayo dressing, 1 tablespoon sweetened lime juice, and 1 teaspoon seasoned salt to the food processor. Grind for 20 to 30 seconds. It's like, it doesn't take long at all, but if you don't do it, you're not going to get it ground up like that. It's like almost takes more time to wash this particular unit than it does to use it, but it's like essential. And then you're going to add that dressing to the egg white mixture and you're going to stir well to coat. And now, like I said, it will sit in the fridge for a few days if you want, but I don't know. It's an interesting salad. I love the pickles and the jalapenos in there and the tomatoes. It just makes it so delicious. And it's just attractive looking. And it's, I just like the colors of it. The red, the green, the white. It's just a pretty looking salad and it tastes really good. So it's a great idea for, well, any day you want to spend a little time on your breakfast or your brunch or your lunch, wherever you're going to eat it, but also Easter. I think it's a great idea for Easter. Now, my next recipe that I'm going to talk about is another egg recipe. And this is one that I really like it too. It gets creamy. So it also uses, avocados and eggs. So, I guess that's my theme today, right? Could have said that in the beginning, but I'm saying it now. Avocados and eggs together. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this recipe, veggie avocado egg salad. Another salad recipe, great for Easter. And again, this one you could turn it into a hybrid meal by adding bacon. Bacon crumbles is always a great thing to add to this kind of a deal. And you could make it hybrid by just making the salad, as I explain it here, and then divide it in half or, 3/4 and a quarter, whatever you want to do, and then add your bacon to whichever one you want to have. If you want more, add it to the one that is more. If you want less, add it to the smaller portion. It's so easy. And bacon is a great addition to the salad. Okay, it's a really pretty salad again, and also it is the red and green, and you've got a little bit of white there, and it just ends up being creamy. You got the cheddar cheese. So in order to make this, you also do need to make my dressing recipe, which is a tangy homemade cilantro lime salad dressing, which is super yummy dressing, and it's really good on lettuce too. So we're going to start with that particular recipe. So to make this tangy homemade cilantro lime salad dressing, you need 1/4 cup olive oil, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, 5 tablespoons half and half creamer, 1.5 tablespoons fresh squeezed lime juice, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon ground red pepper, 1.5 tablespoons chopped fresh cilantro, mounded, not flush, 1/2 cup olive oil, mayonnaise, and 1 tablespoon skim milk, 3 teaspoons sugar. So you're going to combine all these ingredients in a bowl, and you're going to blend it with a hand blender for about a minute. Store in the refrigerator. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then you're going to take that when you're ready, once you've made your salad, and of course you're going to add it to the veggie avocado egg salad. How do you make that? This takes about 40 minutes, but if you have the dressing prepared ahead of time, then it takes you about 20 minutes until you have your salad fully prepared. So it's not like a huge amount of time for this one like the last one. The last one's a little bit more involved. This one's a bit quicker. And you need 1/3 cup of that tangy homemade cilantro lime salad dressing that I just talked about. 5 of the mini cocktail cucumbers sliced. I love those little mini cucumbers. Have you ever used those? I love those things. They're great for salads. 4 hard-boiled eggs diced. 1/4 cup diced onion. 1 ripe avocado diced. Again, ripe is important. 1 cup mini red or orange sweet tomato halves, and 1/2 cup shredded cheddar cheese. It's a pretty easy recipe, right? All you're doing is you're just going to slice those mini cocktail cucumbers, and then you're going to cut the tomatoes in half. So you're going to probably have around 1 cup of the tomato halves once you've sliced them in half. And you're going to dice those 4 hard-boiled eggs, and 1/4 cup onion, and 1 ripe avocado, and you stir it all together. And this is great because if the avocado is ripe, it kind of becomes a part of the dressing after you've stirred it for a while because it's creamy and it kind of like blends in, right? Because it's soft and it's going to kind of blend right into that salad and be less of like a chunk of avocado than a coating of avocado. And you're going to add 1/2 cup shredded cheddar cheese and 1/3 cup dressing to the ingredients in the bowl. Stir vigorously and thoroughly to mix some of the egg yolk with the avocado and dressing. And then serve immediately or store in the fridge. So when you're stirring it vigorously, that's really what you're doing. You're getting that avocado and dressing and egg yolk to kind of mesh together. So in the end, if you stir it, you're supposed to stir it until as much as you can. So you're not really having like a large amount of chunks of avocado and yolk. They'll kind of like blend together and be on the veggies as kind of like a yellowish coating. So just stir it vigorously. That's the best way I can say about doing it. And then it's really good. And I've actually taken this and eaten it as like a side salad, but I've also taken it and put it in like a pita. That's really good. Pita sandwich, or just even on regular bread. So it's a dual way to eat this veggie avocado egg salad. You can eat it by itself, or you can make it into some sort of a sandwich. And it's really good. You can add more tomatoes if you want. My boys just love those little tomatoes. So adding more tomatoes is another way to add a little bit more sweetness and juiciness to that as well. it makes it really good. So these are some egg recipes because I have Easter on the brain. I don't know about you, but I'm always thinking about eggs when it comes to Easter. Hard-boiled eggs, egg dishes, quiches, and often Easter brunch in the morning, you're going to have some sort of eggs, right? If you eat eggs, that is. But if you don't eat eggs, you're probably not listening to this podcast, so it doesn't matter. So I want to thank you for listening to this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I love doing this kind of thing. It's super fun for me to create recipes and share with you. My cookbook, One Dish, Two Diets, is available on Amazon. Links down in the podcast notes, and also my American Midwest Cooking Quiches is down there as well. You can check out my website at juliehoagwriter.com, where I have articles for families, family travel, family life, things for kids, things for guinea pigs if you have guinea pigs, and for dogs because we have pet guinea pigs and dogs at our house. And I also put things on there for women, things that women might like, self-care, just DIY stuff, recipes, and just all things that, well, moms like. And this is something that I do because I'm a mom and I know what I like. So that's some of the stuff I put out on my website. I am also an author, YA romance, Hungry Hearts. So you can check that out too. It was published by Swoon Romance. And don't forget to check out Instacart. If you're looking for something and you don't have it or you forgot it, because, if you're like me, if I don't have it on my list, I tend to forget it in the store. And sometimes I even have it on the list and I still forget it because I get distracted. But especially when the store's busy or I'm in a hurry or something. But, lists are important, but, sometimes we miss stuff and we need a delivery like Instacart. They're a great option for you, especially if you don't want to go out. Like I'm in Minnesota. Right now it's cold and yucky. And if you are craving something and you don't want to go out, try Instacart. Check down in the podcast show notes for a link to that. And again, I want to thank you for listening to this. I hope that you're having an amazing Easter season coming up to it here. And it's so fun to plan your menu, right? Do you think about your menu much, or do you just keep making the same thing every year? It's such a hard thing with holidays, isn't it? Because you come up to the holidays and you're like, oh, I love it when I make blah, 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 blah. So you look forward to that. Other people look forward to it. So then you're thinking, should I make a new thing or should I keep it the same? It's a hard decision. It really is. But it's fun to throw in a new recipe here and there just to see if people like it. And maybe they love it. Maybe you just make an extra dish this year and then you're trying something new, but still getting your same usual favorites for the Easter holiday. I don't know. It's a tough call. What do you do? Obviously, you can't answer me. But if you'd like to leave a message down in the notes, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to my podcast. I hope that you could give me a review. Give me your thoughts and rate my podcast. If you like it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's very valuable to have those reviews in place. It really helps others learn more about your podcast and it helps them understand more what it's about because there's more to read about it, right? Without even listening, they can look at those reviews and be like, oh, okay, that's what it's about. I want to listen. Or, it's a great thing to share with others your thoughts. I'm open to your thoughts. I'm open to your opinions. I definitely would like to hear what you think. Well, again, thank you for listening to this. And it's been a great little chat. I have another chef in the works that's going to come on the podcast. I'm really excited about that. It's so fun to talk to chefs. I'm not a chef, but I've cooked my entire life, and life experience matters, as we all know, because you do something all the time, you're going to learn and you're going to come up with ideas. And, sometimes it gets to be a chore to cook, but when you have time to do it and it's not a pressure situation, it's really fun. And I'm enjoying working on my new cookbook, which is going to be salads and breads. It's going to take me quite a while because I do so many other things, but it's really fun to go along the journey and I get to make some good food along the way, test it out on my family, and it's a good old time. Although I am right now not taking pictures. I really like to take my pictures outside for the cookbooks. it's just natural lighting is so much better. So right now I'm not taking too many pictures. I can do it, but in Minnesota it's a little bit tougher. But I have taken times where I take like a TV tray and I set up a little thing on my front step where there's a lot of good light. And I'm outside in the freezing cold taking pictures of a plate on a TV tray. That's the reality. I've actually done that. And it's just so much easier, though, when there's no snow, because then I can go in the backyard. I could go anywhere outside. I can go on my deck. But right now on my deck, my table is covered with a cover and, probably still a good foot high inch of snow. Like, I can't take a picture on that. It would look goofy and it wouldn't even be flat. So it doesn't work. So sometimes I've gone by windows and done it, and it does kind of work. But that's some little insight into how much work it is to create a cookbook in Minnesota, because half the year we've got snow and it's really hard to take pictures outside in natural light. And I can do it at a window, but often it's a little bit shrouded or dark, so it just doesn't turn out as well. So that's my little spiel. It's kind of crazy. But we do what we need to do, right? Okay, thank you for listening to this, and I hope you come back. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy those recipes. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, if you like them or not. Every recipe isn't for every person, and I get that, but, I hope you enjoy it anyways. All right, you have an amazing day and have a great weekend. Love you, bye.